Good evening, my beautiful brothers and sisters in Yeshua. Today is Wednesday, the 29th of November 2023. It is 10:56 p.m. here in Australia. I hope you're doing very well and I hope you've been blessed. Firstly, I just apologise for the fan noise in the background. It's like nearly 11 p.m. here at night and it's absolutely boiling here in Australia, so you're just going to have to put up with that for this video. And alright, so with that being said, brothers and sisters, this is crazy town. Like, I'm going to bring you some really interesting information tonight. So I want to start with this Q countdown clock. Now, before I get into it, I want to preface this by saying I am not a fan of Q, okay? I'm by no means telling you that this is real or this is not real. I myself believe it's a psyops. And for years, prior to 2020, I was a big Trump, follower, whatever. And Father opened my eyes to all of that. And if you've been watching my videos for the last couple of years, you know that I actually think that Trump is a very high candidate for the Antichrist, okay? So all of this Q stuff, Q drops, anonymous, all of that kind of stuff, I think is all just psyops. However, with that being said, there's just something in my spirit when I posted the video 2 days ago about this Q countdown. And look, I know there's been videos made where apparently people looked into it and it's actually going to be a shop. It's counting down to a shop opening or merchandise or something like that, whatever. There's just something I feel in my spirit that this is significant for some reason. So I'm just going to bring you this update for it because it's a very interesting update and it's like just resonated with my spirit. So obviously the countdown that happened 2 days ago has come and gone. However, they reset the clock and, when they reset the clock, it went on to say, because the first thing was, a pale green horse, and death and all of hell rode with him or something like that. And then it went to, direct hit Israel, or Israel, boom, 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 something like that. And then it went to direct hit 9.8 again and again. And that was very interesting. And that was the one that caught my attention, where it said direct hit 9.8 again and again. And the reason why that was so interesting was because here we have a strong solar flare, magnitude 9.8, was just detected around AR 3500 near center disk. Okay, this is from Solar Ham on X or Twitter, whatever it is. And I just thought that was very significant and very interesting. Let's just put it that way, okay? Because first, this Q website was saying, 9.8 direct hit, and then this came out with a M9.8 solar flare. And that the news programs and stuff, like, your average mainstream media news has been coming out saying, it's very likely that we're going to be losing the internet because there'll be some, I don't know if it's a cyber attack or a solar storm, whatever, and that's going to cause up to about 3 months of us losing the internet. Okay, so they're preparing us for this. Either way, they're preparing us for something significant. My theory is they are covering all their bases and all their distraction bases and all their narratives, so that when the rapture does happen, they've got a myriad of excuses to use of why there was all this disappearance of people and etc., etc. Okay, so I want to draw your attention to what it says now, and it's been like this since this morning. But anyway, it says, not this morning, since about, I don't know, it must have changed between 2 p.m. this afternoon and now. But it says, 6 o'clock is dangerous. Green skies en route. We can feel you breathing. Nobody escapes this. Nobody. Okay? Now, what caught my attention was the green skies en route. Now, many of you guys who have watched me for years, you know that last year, this time last year actually, I was very, very drawn to the 3 days of darkness and the whole, the sign of the aurora borealis before the 3 days of darkness. I was making videos saying that there's going to be worldwide auroras, and I did quite a few videos about it, and that was going to be the sign to the world, basically, this is the last chance. This is the last chance, and I made videos about it, because when you see this worldwide Carrington event, if you don't know what the Carrington event is, please go and look it up, because this was in the 1800s or something like this, and it went around the whole world and just destroyed the infrastructure. It was incredible. But the whole world, I really felt and was really led to say that the whole world was going to see this event of the auroras, and it was kind of like Father's last warning, to take heed and get shelter, and the same like the Israelites did in Exodus chapter 10. They had to take shelter, and basically this was plague 9, before the 10th plague and the death of the firstborns. But in plague 9, they had the 3 days of darkness, where there was a great darkness that went over Egypt, and it was so dark that it was thick, and you could feel it. Basically, all the Israelites had light in their dwellings. So another reassurance that no matter what goes down, we are going to be fine and protected. But this is why I just wanted to bring this website here to your attention again, because of this green skies en route. We can feel you breathing. Nobody escapes this, nobody. Okay, so I just wanted to bring it to you. Again, it could be nothing, it could be something, because of the fact that, there was a whole bunch, and it wasn't just that website, that ex-Solarham website talking about that solar flare. It was all over. It was all in the scientific mags and everything like that. That exact number, 9.8. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe they're actually, maybe they're onto something this time. Maybe it is a warning. See, how I look at this, all these Q drops and something like this, is if we can know, brothers and sisters, the time and the season that we're living in, I can guarantee you, I bet you my bottom dollar, that they watch us. Okay, the watch people, the watchmen and the watchwomen, they watch us. And when they can see through the scriptures as well that there's a very high watch date coming up, I think that's when they predict their stuff. Okay, and obviously, when our dates come and go, then their dates come and go, because they can't do anything until we're out of here. All this arrests and so-called executions that they're supposed to be doing, and saving the children from the underground tunnels. That's all garbage, brothers and sisters. But it's just, like I said, it's a psyop, it's a distraction to make us think that, there's people out there that are actually helping us, and they're doing the dirty work for us, and whatever. But what I'm saying is, I think they're looking to us, and they can see that we know that the time is here. And they also are, using that to prepare for themselves, because, they're excited for this time too. Okay, because this is their hour of power that's coming. Once we're out of the picture, then they've got free reign. They can be as evil as they want, and they can carry on, whatever. So, with that being said, this website led me into a whole trail tonight, and I want to share it with you because I'm like mind blown. I had to go and have a shower because I was just like, no, Father, this is too much. I've got to do a video tonight before I go to bed, otherwise I'm going to forget all this in the morning. So before I jump into it, I was talking to a brother on Discord, and we got onto the conversation about the sun simulators, right? And I was telling him about the sun simulator. And, he's like, oh, look, I don't really, I'm not convinced by the sun simulator and whatever. So I was explaining to him that I've done videos before. And if you haven't heard this is probably going to be a bit shocking. But obviously people who've watched me for ages know that how I feel about this anyway, that Genesis 1 and Genesis 2 talks about two completely different gods, okay? And so if you're like, what? If you've never heard me say this before, we'll jump into that quickly so that I can sort of explain what I mean by this before you just give up on me completely. Okay, so we'll go to Genesis 1. And believe me, brothers and sisters, this is amazing, absolutely amazing what Father has shown me tonight. So I'm very excited to show you guys. Okay, so go back to Genesis 1 here, and I want to use the translation, the names of God. The Names of God Bible, okay? Okay, so Genesis 1, and we'll change Genesis 2 into the Names of God 2. Okay, so over to Genesis 1. As you can see here, it says, in the beginning Elohim created the heaven and the earth. Okay, and then it's Elohim, 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 Elohim. Okay, over in Genesis 2, it's Yahweh, Elohim, Yahweh, 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 Yahweh. Okay, so the theory goes, and to me, I've believed this for a long time. I just, it's only every now and again that I bring it up and talk about it, but I think this is so valid right now. Okay, so, and this is very much where, it says, let us make humans in our image. Okay, this is, people were going to use this to support the Trinity and whatever, but this is legit. This is the sons of God. Okay, this is the sons of God talking about creating humans in their image. Okay, and this is why they made millions of males and females. Okay, so Elohim created human beings in his image, the image of Elohim. He created them, and he created them male and female. And then you go over to Genesis 2, and then Yahweh Elohim formed the man of the dust of the earth and blew the breath of life into his nostrils, and the man became a living being. So there is two different people spoken of here. Okay, they've got the Elohim and Yahweh Elohim. So with that being prefaced, please stick with me, okay? Please stick with me, because you've got to remember how deceived we are. We've got to remember how deceived you are, and keep in mind that Satan, this is his earth here, this is his domain and his kingdoms. They're going to be given back to Father, but right now they're his dominions and his kingdom, okay, this earth. So this is why he could tempt Yeshua with them and all that kind of stuff. So, where are we? Here. And then Elohim said, let there be lights in the sky to separate the day from the night, and they will be for signs and will mark religious festivals, days and years. They will be lights in the sky to shine on the earth. And so it was. Elohim made two bright lights, or in the King James it says two great lights. Okay, the larger light to rule the day and the smaller light to rule the night. And he also made stars. Okay, so we've got the Elohim here making the two bright lights, or the two great lights, one to rule the day and one to rule the night. So with that being said, when I was talking to my brother about the sun simulator and whatever it may be, and how I don't think that we've had the real sun at all, if not at least since the 1960s or so. I don't know what's happened to the real sun, or if there ever was a real sun, but brothers and sisters, what I'm about to show you, oh man, this is absolutely mind-blowing. Let's just say that we've never had a real sun, like what we, like a legit real sun, and it was always a sun simulator, okay? Like it says here, the sons of God created this great light and put it in the sky, okay? So they were always in control of it. And I know you're probably thinking, what on earth are you going on about, woman? But please just hear me out. Okay, so what's the next thing? What did I think about next? Okay, so the next thing, I had this conversation with my brother, and he's like, "Oh, no, I don't think there's could be any such thing as sun simulator, whatever." Then I go and literally, like within 5 minutes later, I go and check my emails, and my sister has sent me this picture of the sun. Okay, and that's the reflection of the sun, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty weird looking picture of the sun. And I'm like, what's in the sun there? Because I was noticing these 3 dots here, and there it is up close. I mean, anybody who's taken any sort of photo of the sun of the last 10 years, that that there's something weird going on. I've been taking photos of the sun since about 2013, and I've just noticed there's something really weird going on. So, with that being said, I've sent this email to her. I'm like, why is that such a weird picture of the sun? And so this led into a full-on conversation back and forth, and all these revelations just came to me. And then she sent me a video, and I nearly had a heart attack. So, check this out. So I hope my sister doesn't mind me. I'll try and make sure there's none of her emails there, but otherwise I have to just copy and paste and blur out, and it's going to take forever. But anyway, so she sent me this picture of the sun, and I'm like, wow, that's a very strange pic of the sun. I had another sister send me a pic of the sun, and it looked like it had a fetus in it. Or was that you? LOL. And then I was like, oh, by the way, check out this Q clock. It says 6 o'clock is dangerous, green skies en route. We can all feel you breathing. Nobody escapes this nobody. Okay. And then she wrote back, she's like, hey sister, that pic I sent you? I thought maybe it was 3 birds. I didn't pay much attention. Hubby said they aren't birds, it's something else. Well, zooming in, I thought maybe 3 more moons. And I was busy looking for signs in a natural godly sense. No, wait for it. What if it's 3 lights? The sun projector reflection busted. Zoom right in and see what you think. Now I'm starting to think the part in the Bible where the sun doesn't give her light and the moon has already been fulfilled. We have a fake sun and a moon for that reason. Now, brothers and sisters, how many weird things have we seen with the moon lately? Like, people are saying that they haven't seen the moon for 3-4 days, or 5 days, or a week, or a whole month, and then people don't see the sun, and there's just so many clouds and all the chemtrails and everything like this. This is crazy town, brothers and sisters, and this has got a lot to do with what I've been saying, and really feeling from Father that we're so far into the book of Revelation we have no idea, and we've just been, because of the church fathers and because what we've been taught by the the Bible colleges, and that's regurgitated this, not regurgitated, but brought down the same theories and ideas every single generation. Okay, but it was only our generation right now in this time, in this season, that the books were going to be open and knowledge was going to be able to increase, and all the deception and all the veils were going to thin, and all the darkness would be lit up, and all the truth would be revealed. Okay, so she goes on to say, I've been seeing really strange moon patterns like I showed you before, or are we picking up on the strong delusion God sends to those who didn't have the love for the truth that they might be saved? Okay, so there's that photo again. This is it zoomed up. I mean, you know what I'm saying. Like, there's something seriously wrong with the sun. Like, for it to cast that reflection onto the ground, it's very weird. And you can go on to any person who's tracking the web, the 24-hour webcams that follow the sun, or that face out to the beach and whatever, like they just run for 24 hours. You can see, and I've shown you in my videos, you can see the projector of the sun. So anyway, so I go to the next email and I reply to her. And I'm like, oh my, I was legit just telling someone just now about the sun simulator, and he said he just can't believe that. And I said, think about how I've said in my videos that Genesis 1 is talking about a different God than Genesis 2. In Genesis 1, it's the Elohim who creates two great lights. Lights. And I'm like, okay, now, brothers and sisters, this is where it gets wild. So titles, I just found this. It has 3 light projectors like the pic I just sent you. Okay, so this is the video, and I'm not going to play the sound just because of, whatever sake. I just don't want to get it banned or whatever. So this here is the NASA, okay. It's in July 6, 1971. And we're going to go down a bit. Okay, so the subject is the announcement of NASA-owned US patent in STAR, S-T-A-R. Like, NASA has always called the sun a star, haven't they? This is a patent technology, okay? Look, I'll go into it. It says, in accordance with the procedures contained in the code GP to Code USI memorandum on this subject dated June 8th, 1970, the attached NASA-owned US patent is being forwarded for abstracting and announcement in NASA STAR. So the following information is provided. This is the patent number, the corporate source, the patent case number. Okay, illumination system including a virtual light source. Okay, this is, I will link this video here in the description box so you can watch it yourself. But this is actual video. Look, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, brothers and sisters, just like the photo. Okay, just like the photo. Whoops, wherever it went. Okay, so like I said, I watched this, absolutely incredible. There is a patent for it already, and like I said, it's probably around the 1960s or whatever. Maybe this is a second one that they had to do. Maybe they keep doing them, and it's only just now that we've got the Information Act, and then we can find out all this stuff. Or like I said, the books have been open, we can actually know this. Maybe they've kept making new suns or, whatever. But this is crazy town, okay? So she sends me that video, and I'm like, oh, sister, it just came to me when I was watching the video you sent. Father has an only begotten son named Yeshua, S-O-N, Jesus Christ, and Satan created a great light named Sun, S-U-N, Helios. Okay, this is why that I Pet Goat thing is created by Heliofont. Okay, so Satan, the Elohim, created a great light, S-U-N, whereas Father created the true great light, the S-O-N, Yeshua Jesus Christ. Okay, sorry about saying created, begotten, okay? He begotten his son, Yeshua Jesus Christ, okay? The great light, the light of the world. And Satan created this great light, S-U-N, Helios, okay? And then all of this stuff was like boom, boom, boom. All right, so Revelation 8:10. And then the third angel blew the trumpet, and there fell a great star. A great star. It's the only one in Revelation 8 that's a star, because there was a mountain that fell like fire, a great mountain that was burning like fire that fell. But this is a great star that fell from heaven, burning like a torch. A torch, brothers and sisters, a torch. I mean, this is the projector, the sun simulator, okay? And it fell into the third part of the rivers and the fountains of water. And I'm like, okay, because it goes on to say down here, we'll read the rest of it, and it made the water bitter, right? It made the water bitter. So I see Ezekiel 32:7. And when I shall put thee out, I will cover the heaven and make the stars thereof dark, and I will cover the sun with a cloud, and the moon shall not give her light. So is Father covering up Satan's creation? Think about this, brothers and sisters. I know you're going to be like, oh, but Father created the sun, moon, and stars for times and and seasons and things like that. But what is time? Father exists out of time. Notice time is the only thing that's weird in this world. Like, you can do a measurement, you've got a meter ruler, everything's in tens and hundreds. What's time in? 60. It's 60 minutes. Which is, don't you find that incredibly weird? That there's 60 minutes instead of 100 minutes in an hour or something like that? Why 60? And when they tell you, the spinning globe, whatever, it's, it's on axis of 66 or some crap like that. And brothers and sisters, I'm telling you, it's just a theory. It's just this theory. It's not thus say the Lord, but Father was really showing me some stuff, okay? So I said, what if Father destroys Satan's handiwork and the earth becomes dark? Which in Revelation 16:10, the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the throne of the beast, and the kingdom waxed dark, and they gnawed their tongues for sorrow. Okay, Revelation 6:12, and the sun was black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon was like blood. This just reminds me of Revelation 9:1. Okay, the angel comes down with the key, opens the bottomless pit, and locusts come out, and a great smoke and a fiery furnace. Okay, and it said that smoke darkened the sun. Okay, and the air. So that smoke that's coming out, that's what's going to make that sun black as sackcloth. And the fiery furnace is what's going to make the moon blood red. Okay, and there's going to be darkness. There's literally going to be darkness everywhere. Now get this, Revelation 12:4, and his tail drew a third part of the stars of heaven and cast them to earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered to devour her child. And when she brought forth, and this is going back to Revelation 8. Okay, this is the second part of Revelation 8. And the name of that star is called Wormwood. Therefore, the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. And the fourth angel blew the trumpet, and the third part of the sun was smitten, a third part of the moon, and a third part of the stars, so that the third part of them was darkened, and the day was smitten, and the third part of it could not shine, and likewise the night. So I was like, oh my goodness, what if the dragon's tail is taking down 1/3 of the sun simulator? The star, which NASA calls the sun a star, right? And that simulator is made out of phosphorus. Okay? Phosphorus, which is wormwood. Right? Because that's what they call that the great star that fell, and it fell into the waters, made them bitter, and it was called wormwood, which is a chemical that makes the water bitter and undrinkable. So I'm like, that's what I wrote, and I thought I'm going to go and research what phosphorus is, because that's the first thing I thought of when I thought of a great star burning like a lamp. I'm like, that's phosphorus. That is literally like, I've heard so many times, because when I was talking to my brother, I was saying, back in the olden days, they would work for 12 hours a day. No one ever got sun cancer. Okay, but now it seems like every man and his dog, you go out for like half an hour in the middle of the day and you're burning, and you're developing these cancers and skin lesions and all this kind of stuff. And then people who do night shift, like nurses and whatever, they're all under those phosphorus lights, and they're all getting cancers and all this kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm like, it's got the word horus in it, phosphorus, okay? And I'm like, okay, I've got to find out the chemicals in phosphorus if it makes water bitter. Brothers and sisters, listen to this. Okay, I'll see if I can go to the website if I've still got it up. Yeah, here. Okay, so this is phosphorus in water. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Okay, this is all awesome information, but I just wanted to read. Where is it? Okay, introduction. Phosphorus is one of the crucial elements in biochemistry. The PO, that's the phosphorus and oxygen bond, represent the key building blocks for the formation of the whatever acid, which is essential for almost all living species on Earth. However, the over-enrichment of phosphorus in water bodies promotes the expansion of harmful algae blooms. Brothers and sisters, I'm literally about to have a heart attack. Okay? It promotes the expansion of algae blooms. Now, I don't know if you've seen it, but I've seen so many I think I made a video of this, or I could have done a TikTok. Back in November, or early November, the Nile River went blood red. Okay? Went blood red, and the scientists came and said it was algae blooms. It does this every year. Okay? It does it every year. Brothers and sisters, do you hear what I'm trying to say here? This is one of the prophecies in the Bible. It says that, all of the seas will turn to blood, and the rivers will turn to blood, and the fountains of water will turn to blood. Is this because of the phosphorus from the sun simulator, which gets cast down 1/3 of it? Because on this pattern, 1/3 of it, okay, the dragon's tail, and I haven't looked into what the dragon's tail could be, but brothers and sisters, oh my goodness, I hope you're as excited as I am, because, realistically, you may think, oh, this is just fetching at straws or whatever it may be, and that's cool. Like I said, it's not thus saith the Lord, but my golly, this, I'm really feeling it from the Father. I'm really feeling it from the Father that He's showing me something really significant here. Because why this is so important, if this is true, brothers and sisters, we are at the end. We're literally at the end. So, with everything that's going on now, like I've always said, we've had the biggest prophecy fulfilled, and that was the army surrounding Jerusalem. Okay? The army surrounding Jerusalem. When you see that, you know the desolation thereof is nigh. What's the desolation? The desolation of Jerusalem. That's what the end game is. Okay, that's what the end game is. Zechariah 14, it says, I'm going to gather all the nations against Jerusalem to battle. And then Revelations 20, the devil thinks he's doing it, that he's gathering all the nations to battle against Jerusalem. But realistically, it's all Father. Father's in control of this all. He's just letting Satan think that he's doing this. This is really super exciting. This is what I'm trying to get at with saying this is already the Gog and Magog war. We've been pre-programmed to think that the whole world has to be in this turmoil and great tribulation, but it's not speaking about us. It's speaking about Jerusalem. It's speaking about Israel. It's speaking about the Philistines, that general area. It's talking about Turkey, from the kings of the north and stuff. It's talking about that area, and that area is going off right now. So, I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, I'm telling you, we are so far into the book of Revelation. And, I did I've been studying big time for the last week and a half since I did the video, where I was going through all the chapters in Revelation, and I was showing you that they're literally, what Revelation is, brothers and sisters, is a repeat of the same story, just in a different perspective. Okay? Like, for instance, the fifth angel, okay, the fifth angel trumpet is the same as the fifth vial, and it's the same as seal 6. They're all three of them are the same thing. It's just repeating the same story, just like the Gospels do, just like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They all tell you the same story, but from a different perspective, and just like the 5 books of the Torah, okay. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. They're literally telling you the same story from different perspectives. And this is crazy town. This is absolutely crazy town. So this is amazing, brothers and sisters. Phosphorus. Oh, and then get this. Get this, brothers and sisters. Okay, phosphorus is a chemical element. It has the symbol P and atomic number 15. Elemental phosphorus exists in two major forms, white phosphorus and red phosphorus. But because it is highly reactive, phosphorus is never found as a free element on Earth. It has a concentration in the Earth's crust of about 1 gram per kilogram compared to copper at about 0.06 grams. In minerals, phosphorus generally occurs as phosphate. Elemental phosphorus was first isolated as white phosphorus in 1669. How convenient. 666. In white phosphorus, phosphorus atoms are arranged in groups of 4 written as P4. White phosphorus emits a faint glow when exposed to oxygen, hence the name, taken from Greek mythology, meaning light bearer, Latin Lucifer, referring to the morning star and the planet Venus. Are you kidding me? Brothers and sisters, this is really incredibly exciting. This is so exciting. So I just want to see if I've got any more. Okay, so I'll check my other emails in a second, because I've got a couple of really awesome brothers and sisters that are just like, all of you are awesome brothers and sisters that send me stuff, and because I wouldn't know otherwise a lot of this kind of stuff, and this helps put all the puzzle bits together. But how is this, brothers and sisters? How is this? This starts it. This started it with this green sky in root. And remember on the 11th of November, was it the 11th of November? Yeah, what's it called? NASA did their first, where they recreated the aurora borealis, remember? And then we had all this weird stuff happen after that. We had these earthquakes. Iceland happened after that. It started really going off and carrying on, and I was telling you that Iceland, in the ancient history, the Christians used to call it the gateway to hell, like the gate to hell was in Iceland, and look at it going off. I think this is all coming to pass, brothers and sisters. I think we are literally at the door. Jesus is turning the handle. He's turning the handle, and he's already he's ready to blow that trumpet. And we are about to go in. Oh, and before I forget, before I close this video, I went back and watched the Sword of God video. The really awesome one, which I linked. I'll try and remember to link it here again. It's a 2-hour video. I mustn't have watched all of it last time when I told you to go and watch it, because it was absolutely awesome, because I was talking about the raven, in Noah's Ark, where he sent the raven to go first, and, the raven came back, and then he sent a dove, whatever. When the Sword of God, I think his name's Charles, when he was talking about that, I was like, oh, that's the same thing in I Pet Goat. When the warplanes or jets go over the Dome of the Rock, and they blow up the Dome of the Rock, and ravens come out of it. Okay, so anyway, I was lying there today, and I was flipping through my history, and I seen that I didn't watch all of the video. So I ended up watching the last 20 minutes of it. Oh my goodness, brothers and sisters. All credit goes to him, because this is like the missing bit to why I've been looking into the 2 witnesses so much. Because as you know, I was like, it has to be the Christmas, it has to be the Hanukkah season, because of the part in Revelation 11 where it says, when their dead bodies lie in the street, they're going to be merry and give each other gifts. I'm like, there's no other season in the whole year where people are being merry and giving each other gifts. And this is what John would have seen 2,000, 1,000, however long it was, that long ago. Okay, this is what he would have seen. And there was no Christmas back then. okay, where people were being merry. That is a very specific word, merry, okay. You notice they say happy birthday, happy new year, happy, happy, happy. But it's only for Christmas that people say merry. So this is why, very significant. Anyway, so I'm like, it has to be around this season. This is why I feel like we're this close. Anyway, so also this is why I read the first Maccabees. Did a scripture reading the other day because I just know it's about Hanukkah. And the fact that the first book of Maccabees talks about where Hanukkah comes from, okay? So again, on the 15th day of Kislev, on the 15th day of the 9th month, they erected a statue, the bad people that is, they erected a statue of Zeus in the temple. 10 days later, on the 25th of Kislev, on the 9th month, they slaughtered a pig on the altar. And this was the original abomination of desolation. So I'm like, this is so perfect, because this is what Christ said to look out for. He said, when you therefore see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, and then when you go into Daniel, you type in abomination of desolation or abomination, there's only 3 instances in Daniel that talk about the abomination. And it just is so vague. So I'm like, there's got to be something else. So when I came across the first book of Maccabees, I was like, boy, yeah, no wonder they've taken this book out of the Bible. This is where it talks about the abomination of desolation, and this is why they didn't want us to know this. Okay, so this is where we should be looking to see what we're supposed to be looking for. Okay, and and the fact that this is where, to this day, the Jews get Hanukkah from and why they celebrate Hanukkah. So, getting back to Brother Charles of Sword of God, he has come up with this incredible revelation that Father gave him that has to do with the 5 wise and 5 foolish virgins, okay? And he was explaining that, how the 5 wise ones, when the bridegroom called, and, they all rose and trimmed their lamps. And then the foolish ones were like, oh, give us some of your oil. And the wise ones were like, oh, not so, because we don't have enough. If we give you some, we won't have enough for ourselves. This, brothers and sisters, goes to the story and the miracle of the oil that goes along with the Hanukkah story. Okay, this is amazing, mind blown. And all credit goes to Charles at Sword of God. But he was saying that... Right, okay, so the miracle of the oil in Hanukkah, the story is that when they rededicated the temple, they only had enough oil for one night. But the miracle was, because it takes 8 days, right, to do the purification ritual of the oil, okay? But they only had, I think there was 1 night's worth of oil that hadn't been, what's the word I'm looking for? Abominated, hasn't been, whatever the word is. And so they found this, and then they were able to use that, but they still needed another 8 days to do the purification to make more oil. But that 1 day's worth of oil lasted. It was a miracle. It lasted the whole 8 days. Okay, and that's in their, the Jewish history of Hanukkah. And this is why they have the menorah. This is why Christ is the, in Revelation 1, I think it is, or chapter 2 maybe, where the church of Ephesus, right, it says Jesus he walks amongst the 7 candlesticks. Okay, this is unbelievable. So Jesus is the light on the menorah, the main one, the one in the middle, right? Anyway, so Charles was saying that this, as the same thing was in Hanukkah, with them having just enough oil for 1 day, and Father provided the miracle for the 8 days of lighting. This is why the wise virgins said, if we can't give you any oil because we've only got enough for 1 night. Like, oh my goodness, brothers and sisters, we've only got enough for 1 night, enough to light the way into the door. And then the door was shut. Unbelievable. It's got to be it, brothers and sisters. It has to be the season, okay? It has to be the season. And Brother Charles, on Sword of God, he said his wonderful, wonderful, wonderful revelation. And I just read on his post today that he's got this incredible revelation coming. He's putting it all together, so get over there and subscribe to his channel. I can't wait for this revelation to come out. I was going to say, anyway, just absolutely incredible. Please go and watch that video in its entirety. But I just thought how incredible to relate everything's to do with the oil. Everything's to do with the oil. And then I was doing some more research today too, and I was looking at, the menorah. The menorah means the called out assembly. Okay, the called out assembly. And Father says, come out of her, my people. The oil, remember it says, that the 4 angels hold back the wind. And it says, the seal of God. And no. The third seal, where it weighs the wheat and the barley, right? And it says, but do not touch the oil and the wine. This again is to do with the 2 witnesses, okay? Because I was looking into it, and I was looking into, does the Jews, do they represent the wine? Because I'm like, we've got to be the oil. We've got to be the oil because we're the light, right? We're the light. We're the candlesticks. We're the candlesticks, and they're the olive trees, okay? They're the olive trees. We're the candlesticks. Oh, they're the wine. We're the candlesticks. And there's this whole big thing. This article here is all about how important the wine is. Anyway, I don't want to go too much into it. You can research for yourself, but it's pretty much with every ritual that they do, wine is involved. And the wedding, right? The wedding ritual, that's the first thing that Christ did. The first miracle he did was the wedding one. And on a Galilean wedding, basically the man and the woman have this cup of wine, and the man sort of asks the father or proposes to the woman, and she has to take the drink and agree. She has to drink the wine and agree. She's still got a choice, right? Just like us. We have to drink and agree that we're going to, drink the wine and eat the flesh. I'm not a big fan of that particular scripture, but you know what I'm saying. We have to agree that what the price that's been paid for us, which was the death and resurrection of Yeshua Jesus Christ, we agree that we believe, receive, and confess that with our mouth, that that's real, that's what we, we hold dear to us, and we believe it, and that's how we're saved, right? Anyway, so that is that. And what else have I got here? Oh yeah, I just wrote, this was just something that I just wrote down too. I said, what if the real sun fell because he loved the worship of man? Okay, look how many religions worship the sun, the sun. Because when you read in the book of Enoch, right, it talks about stars that have transgressed, and they've turned into lightning, and they didn't know how to get. I don't know. It goes right into how basically the stars, they transgress their orders, and they're left and locked into outer darkness forever. It also talks about frost, one of the elements from Father, frost. He transgressed his what he should do. Basically he transgressed, and have a look what they've done with Frost in all the movies. Jack Frost, cold, Santa, it's all that cold. They've made horror movies out of Frost, basically, and Frost kills everything. So everything's alive. Everything's alive. And I'm like, what if the real sun, the sun, the real sun has fallen because of all the worship? It loved the worship so much. Like, I'm just spitballing now. I'm just telling you some theories, but anyway, I'm going to leave you with that. I should go to bed, but I just had to get that to you. So, phosphorus, right? Phosphorus, and the fact that, taken from the Greek mythology, meaning light bearer or Lucifer, morning star or Venus. And I don't know. I just thought this was absolutely incredible, and I thought I'd share this with you. There's something weird going on with the sun. There's something weird going on with everything. It's just that time, brothers and sisters. It's really that time. So where we go, where's the Q thing? Let's do a refresh, see if anything's changed. No, nothing's changed yet. But yeah, green skies en route. Are we going to see some kind of aurora borealis or something? You know, nobody escapes this, nobody. Again, I'm not saying there's anything to this Q thing, but as I just said to you before, I think they watch us, the watchmen, the watchwomen, and because they know that if anybody's studying, it's the watchmen and watchwomen, okay? And they know that if we see a high watch day, I think they jump on board too, and this is why they're like, oh yeah, this is going to happen on this date, and obviously the days come and go, so their prophecies don't come to, because they're waiting on us. They're waiting on the hand of God to be removed. Okay, we have to be out of here. We are the candlesticks, brothers and sisters. It says the voice of the bridegroom and the light of the candlesticks will be removed. And then that they can live, live and reign in darkness as they want to do. And they can fully, get into their hour of power. So I thought I'd bring that to you this evening, and very incredible. I'll try and remember to link everything down, and I'll try and remember to put the Sword of God video on there. Please go and watch it, even if it's the last sort of half an hour, because the whole thing's awesome, but I know people don't have all the time in the world to watch all this stuff, but incredible. So, yeah. All right, brothers and sisters, I love you very much. May Father bless you. May the Son bless you. If I don't see you in the next video, I might not see you in the next video. Who knows what will be happening in 9 hours. But anyway, yeah, very exciting time we live in. Oh, that's what I was going to say. He's the Sword of God, Charles, he was saying 15th of December, and how he got that was absolutely incredible, all from the scripture. So, yes. 15th of December sounds perfect to me. Anyway, I'll leave you with that. But I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you in the skies. God bless you. I love you. Bye-bye.